So these are the supplies and the yarns that I will be using for the top. So I've got 4 different colors. You can use as many colors as you'd like, or you could even use 1 color or 2 colors. And I am using acrylic yarn, but I would also really recommend like bamboo or even cotton yarn. You can use many yarns. I just like steer clear of any like wools or yarns that will be really warm, because obviously it's a tube top, so you'd like it to be cooler. But yeah, I've got these colors, and these are all DK weight yarn. Again, you can use other weights of yarns. You will just have to adjust your hook size accordingly. So for this, I will be using a 3mm hook. This is my hook. And one thing I'd recommend is whatever yarn you're using, I would use a hook size that is smaller than what's recommended, just so that your top has less gaps, especially like in the front chest area, unless you want it to be having like a lot of gaps and like very holey. But yeah, me personally, I'm using this smaller hook. I think for DK weight you would generally use around like 4mm, but this is 3mm. And then you're just going to need a yarn needle to sew in any loose ends, and then you are going to need scissors. So to start this top, you're just going to take the color that you want to start with. So for me, that is this red yarn. And what we're going to do is we are going to start by making a slip knot, and then we're going to chain essentially the width of our top. So I'll be showing you guys this and how wide the chain should be and everything. Obviously it's going to change depending on your hook size and your body, but I'm just going to be giving you guys an idea of how much you should be aiming to chain. Okay, so you're just going to start by making a slip knot. So yeah, I'd say that this is like a pretty beginner friendly pattern, because you're just gonna be doing like slip knot, chaining, and then you're gonna do the same stitch for the whole top. But anyway, like I said, we're just gonna start with a slip knot. And if that wasn't clear, I'm so sorry. There's lots of other videos on YouTube that explain a slip knot better. I feel like I'm really bad at showing it because I do it in a strange way. But then you're just going to put the slip knot on your hook. Okay, so now we have to crochet a chain, which is essentially going to be like the width of the top. So we're going to have our chain, and then we're going to work rows downwards, and we're going to create the length of the top. So we're going to have to make a chain, and then so basically how long you want the chain to be is going to be where you want the shirt to sit. So for instance, if I was making a tube top and I didn't really want it to cover much of my back at all, I might make a chain that goes from here all the way to there. So you'll be able to hold up the chain to your body and see where you like it. And then that would obviously leave like a lot of my back exposed. But if you want the top to cover more of your chest and part of your back, you would make your chain longer, and then maybe it would like go all the way back here. Your chain would go all the way to your back. But so that's the important thing. But I'm going to say, make sure that you don't make your thing too long, your chain too wide, because we will be tying it back, so you're going to need space for like the actual tying of the back. Because if your top thing is like so wide that there's only like this much space at the back, there's not going to be like sufficient space to like have your ties and for it to be able to like cinch in. So I would say like leave a decent amount of space in the back when you made your chain, so that whenever you have made the top and the rows and everything, and then you add the tie, there is space that it can cinch backwards and actually tie. Because we want it to be able to cinch, because that's what's going to give the tube top its form and make it so that it stays on and it stays like really tight. So I'm going to show you guys how to chain, and then I'm going to show you where the chain kind of sits on me so that you can get an idea. But I'd say yeah, like have a decent amount of space with your chain length, so that there will be an area to add the ties and everything that are going to cinch the top. Okay, so now we are just going to do our chain. So what you're going to do is yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, And make your chain, I would say, not too tight, because if it's too tight, it's going to be really hard to crochet into it. So make it loose, but also like not too loose. So it's kind of like a balance. You want your hook to be able to go in to your chain pretty easily, but it also shouldn't be really big. So you gotta kind of like work a balance. So the chain, again, you're just going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and you're going to keep making this chain until you are happy with the width and the way that it, you know, wraps around your chest. So that's essentially what you're going to do, and I will check back with you guys when I have finished the length of my chain and show you guys how it kind of like sits on my body, just so that you can kind of get further guidance and further clearance. Okay, so I've now finished my chain and I'm happy with the length. So this is kind of how far it wraps around. So you can see that there is still a gap there. So now the main thing that we've got to do is work up like the height of the top, because as you saw, this chain is what goes around your like chest and your body, but now we actually have to work up the length. So for this part, I personally am going to be using double crochet stitch. So I'm going to show you guys how to do double crochet, but you can really do any stitch that you want. You could do single crochet, though that might like take longer. You could even do like triple crochet, but it might be spacier. Like, it really is completely up to your preference. And also, like, you obviously don't have to change colors, sorry, for your rows, but I'm going to be showing you how to change colors if that is something you want to do, because I'm going to be doing that. So yeah, it's just going to be essentially like many rows of whatever stitch you're doing. In this case, like I said, I'm doing double crochet until you've got the desired length of your top. So if you want your tube top to like be really cropped and be more like of a bandeau, you could do really few rows. If you want it to be like more full length, you could do like many rows so that it even goes past your navel. But yeah, it's really completely customizable, up to you, like how much skin you want to show and everything. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do to make your double crochet is you are going to yarn over, and then you're not going to go into the first chain from your hook, you're going to go into the second chain from your hook. So you're just going to go through, then you are going to yarn over again. This should leave you with 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to pull through the second 2 loops on your hook. So I'm just going to do that again. So you're going to yarn over, go into the next double crochet, being careful to not increase or anything. You're going to go in, yarn over again, then you're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops. So I'm just going to show you that again. So you're going to yarn over, going through the next chain, go in. You should now again have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. And you're just going to do this in all of your chains all the way down. And it might be nice to like keep track of how many initial chains you did, so that you can make sure for each row you are not increasing or decreasing in the amount of stitches that you do, because that would lead to like irregularities. So I have now reached the last chain of this row, and for me personally, I'm going to be switching colors every row. So I'm now switching to this blue color. So that's what we need to do in the last stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook as usual, pull through as usual, got 3 loops. So we're going to pull through the first 2 loops, but we're not going to pull through the second ones, no. We're actually going to grab our new color of yarn, and we need a bit of a tail. So make sure you have a bit of a tail, and we're going to take that new color and we're going to pull that new color through these loops. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my red yarn. This is coming from the yarn bowl itself, and then this is just like my initial tail that I had. So now we've got our blue yarn attached. So we're going to, there's a lot of tails here, but we're going to take our new color, we're going to chain one. This is how we're going to start every new row, is by chaining one. Okay, we're going to make sure we have hold of our tails, and we're going to turn our work, and then we're going to yarn over as usual, put our hook into those stitches, and we're going to take our two tails and we're going to put them on top. Okay, you're going to kind of like hold them there, then you're going to like do a double crochet as normal. Only difference is that you're crocheting over those tails. So you now have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to crochet and pull through 2 as usual, crochet, pull through 2 more, and then you're going to do that again, going over your tails like this, crocheting as usual. Only thing is that we are crocheting over those tails, like I said. Oops, I need some more yarn for my bowl. Okay, so we've got our tails here. This main tail that we first created, we're leaving that alone. We're just going to sew that in later. But you're going to yarn over, enter into the stitch, then you've got your tails there on top that you are crocheting over. Look, you're crocheting over it because this is yarn you're pulling through here, your tails, so you're crocheting over it. And then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then I'm just going to crochet over these tails for maybe just like 2 more stitches. So entering into our stitch there. Okay. So we've now at this point crocheted over our tails, so for quite a few stitches, so I'm not going to do them anymore, but I will like weave in these ends later, even more before cutting them. So now we're just going to crochet down the row as usual, essentially. Okay, just crocheting down as usual, nothing different, nothing out of the ordinary. Make sure that you're not accidentally increasing, which increasing is if I came back into this double crochet that I already did a double crochet and then I like did another one, that would cause there to be an increase, because look, now there would be 2, and that's going to change the width of the project. So that's an error that is kind of easy to make if you are not, looking, or you're perhaps not used to reading your stitches, or you could miss a stitch. So here the next stitch I should be going into is this double crochet, but I could accidentally miss that one and then go into the next one, leaving that one, and that's kind of going to leave like a little gap. And not only that, but that's also going to mess with the like width of our project, because it's going to make it like go inwards. It's also going to have a gap, so our stitch count is going to change. So those are 2 kind of mistakes you should be aware of. So yeah, I'm just going to do my double crochets all the way down. When I get to the end of the row, I will show you guys the last stitch, because I'm just going to show you how to change colors again. But if you are like confident with changing colors, or you're doing one color, essentially what you're going to do is just a bunch of rows until you are happy with the width of the top, like I said before. So how much of like your midriff or like chest or stomach that you want covered, that's how many of these rows you're going to do. So if you want to like jump ahead, just do as many rows as you're happy with. But if not, I will see you just now. So I'm now at the last stitch of my second row. This is what it's looking like so far. Looking cute. So yeah, like I said, this is the last stitch. Why is this yarn here? Sorry. So I'm just going to yarn over, and then this is the top of my last stitch. The last stitch can be kind of hard to see sometimes, so just be patient. Then I'm going to go in, pull through. Remember, I'm changing colors, so I'm going to pull through the first 2 loops, but I am not going to pull through the second 2 loops with the same color. I'm going to be switching to brown now, so I'm actually going to pull through with these colors. Remember, each row starts with a chain, so we're going to chain, and I'm now going to cut my blue yarn, my blue working yarn that is, turn the work, take these top 2 tails, we're going to yarn over, go into our first double crochet, and we are again crocheting over those tails. I do it for, I'd say like crochet over them for like at least 5 stitches before you can drop them. Yeah, and then you're just going to, you know, double crochet this entire row like so. 3, 4, 5. Oops, let me grab those tails. I'm gonna drop the tails and then just double crochet all the way down. And I will check back with you guys when I have the height or length of the top that I am happy with. So yeah, this project I'd say is pretty repetitive once you get down these like basic steps. So this part might take a while just to build up that length that you want, but yeah, I'll check back with you guys when you are done with that, and then I'll show you how I like to weave in ends. Okay, so I just finished working the rows to create the like length of the top, and I'm just holding it up to my body, but I just wanted you guys to kind of like get an idea of the length. So obviously if you wanted your top to be more cropped, you could do fewer rows, and if you wanted it to be longer and get more coverage, you could do more rows. So yeah, so now I'm just going to fasten off this piece because I want my tail attached. Then we're going to just do a little bit of single crochet bordering, and then we are going to create the drawstring for the top, and it's going to be done. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about these colors that I chose. I like them at first, but I don't know anymore. I guess we'll see. So like I just showed you guys in the previous clip, I finished all my rows. So actually before I fasten this part off, I want to do some single crochet bordering. So this is the row we just worked horizontally, and then this is like the side of our top. So I just like to have a little bit of a single crochet border on these sides, both of them. So I'm just gonna start with the side where the yarn is attached. I don't personally do any like single crochet bordering on our top row of double crochet, like our last row of double crochet in our first row, but if you wanted to do single crochet bordering there, you could totally do that as well. I'm just not going to do that for this top. So what I do is essentially for each like double crochet post, because here we've got like different posts of double crochet, I'm going to do single crochet, 2 single crochets into each of those spots, sorry. So here I've got 1 double crochet, right? So I'd essentially go into that space and 1 single crochet like so, and then 2nd single crochet like so. Okay, I'm just going to do that a bit slower so you guys can see the single crochet, but yeah, you're just going to go into the side here and you're going to do 1 single crochet. So you insert your hook, yarn over, and you're going to just pull through both loops. And I'm going to do this for each. So for each double crochet post, we're going to have 2 single crochets in the space. So for each double crochet stitch, we essentially have 2 single crochets. So here is our 2nd double crochet post stitch. So I'm going to do 1 single crochet, just like that. And then I'm going to insert my hook, do my next single crochet, just like so. And then here is our next double crochet in blue. So we're just gonna like take that, we're gonna go into the space in between these 2, going to do 1 single crochet like so. I'm gonna go in there again, do another single crochet. Okay, so then here we're coming back to our next stitch. This is a red one. We're gonna just go in to the space between, because like double crochet here, double crochet there. I think we're going to go into the space as we've been doing. Insert your hook like so, 1 single crochet, Then you're just going to do it again. Oops, insert your hook. And so it gives us this nice border with 2 single crochets in each double crochet. So space, we're gonna do that all the way down here to the end, just doing that exact same thing. And then when you get to the end, you're just going to chain 1 and fasten off. So I'm gonna get to the end and then show you the chain 1 and fastening off, and then I will show you how I kind of like to attach my yarn to the other side to just do this exact same process. Okay, so I finished this border here and I just did my last single crochet. So what you're going to do is chain 1, then you're just gonna pull until you have like a bit of a loop there, and then just grab your scissors, cut, and then you have finished that side of the bordering. So essentially I'm just now turning my piece so that we've got the opposite side that just doesn't have the bordering. So you're just going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to show you how I like to attach my yarn to this other side. So I'm just going to separate, you know, my first double crochet that I have here at the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the space. Sorry if it's like you can't really see, but I'm gonna go into the space between this double crochet at the end and the next double crochet. So I'm just going into that space there. Then I'm grabbing the yarn that I want to attach, which is this same red yarn I used for the other side. Okay, and I'm just going to pull it through like so. Then you've got like a bit of like a loop here, and then I can just chain 1. And then we're just gonna do, once it's attached, we're just gonna do the exact same process we did with the other side, which is just, you know, 2 single crochets for each double crochet stitch at the side. So we're gonna come here, okay, find our double crochet, first one, and do 2 single crochets, just like I showed you before. Sorry, and you're gonna do that for every double crochet stitch all the way up to the end. And then I just showed you how to fasten off. So once you've done all those double crochets, you're just gonna come here, chain 1, fasten off, and then your border will be done for this side. Your border will be done for this side, and then all our bordering will be done. And then I'm just gonna show you how I kind of like to weave in ends. And then we're just gonna have to make the drawstring. So we are getting close to the end. Okay, so now I'm just gonna like show you guys how I kind of like to weave in my ends. I have quite a few here. I sewed in like most of the ones down here, but I've still got quite a few. And remember, we crocheted over these ends for the first few stitches, and I just do that because it makes it so that there's less sewing in to do, because I feel like you don't have to sew in as much if you've already crocheted over it. So I hope this kind of helps, but I'm not sure. So we're just gonna take your yarn, put it in your yarn needle, and then I like to hide, so this is brown yarn, so I want to kind of like hide it in the brown stitches. Oops, let's get this camera more into focus. So I'm just gonna like go underneath like these parts of these stitches, just like go underneath them. Pull that through. And then kind of do that again. Just go underneath parts of these stitches, go through them / underneath them. I feel like it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm just hiding the yarn underneath. My goodness, I'm struggling. And I just pull it through. And now you're good to go. What I do is I snip it and then there's still a bit of a tail, so I just pull it so that it kind of like goes underneath. Pull it, and then that tail is like kind of hidden, so I'm essentially just hiding it under the stitches. So I'm gonna hide this white tail underneath these white stitches. So we're almost done with this top, I promise. So now we have to make a chain that is going to be the ties for this top. It's going to be the ties that crisscross along the back. So I'm going to make a chain that is as long as your wingspan. So you can't see my full wingspan because it's cut off by the camera, but it would be from like fingertip to fingertip with your arms spread out. And if you make a chain that's as long as your wingspan, then your crisscross tie will almost certainly be long enough. So yeah, you're just gonna make a slip knot as usual, and then you're just gonna make a chain as long as your wingspan, and then once it's long enough, you're just going to fasten off and cut the tail, and then I will show you guys how to, you know, crisscross it into the top, and then we're gonna be all done. Okay, so final step is to take our tail and like kind of weave it through the back. So you can really do this any way that you want, but I'm just gonna come into the corner, into little space. So we've got the single crochets and we've got our first double crochet, so I'm gonna go into the space. After that first double crochet, I'm gonna take our tail, or sorry, our tie, the chain we just did, and pull it through. So now it's going through, and I'm just gonna repeat that for the other side as well. Okay, so we've got I just realized I did this wrong, because this is actually kind of good, so I can show you guys. When you pull it through, the tail should be behind here. Here it's in the front, so I did it in the wrong direction. So I'm just gonna fix that. Gonna go in, pull it through that chain, and then it's going the same way for both sides. Then what I think I'm going to do for the lacing is for every 4 double crochet rows, I'm going to put in the lacing. Sorry, the chain. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to go to the base of that 4th row, 1 double crochet in. You've got the single crochet, a double crochet, 1 double crochet in, and I'm going to pull that through just like so. And then I'm going to do that for the other side as well. So I'm going to count 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, white. Okay, so we're going to go to the base of the 4th row, 1 double crochet in. Here's that 1 double crochet, and we're just going to pull that chain through. Okay, so that's kind of how the lacing should go. And I'm just going to repeat that lacing process all the way down, and then I'll check back with you guys and show you how it's going. But you don't have to do it every 4 rows. Sorry, let me try and fix this exposure. You could do it every like 2 rows, or you could like do more. You could do like every 6 rows. Also depends on what stitch you use, but it is completely customizable. Okay, so now we finished doing the crisscross tie back for the back of the top, and you see we've still got some tails left for tying. So now your tube top is finished. So I hope you like it. I think it's really cute. Hello, it is Editing Zoe. I realized that I never filmed an outro to that video, so like it's now a completely different day. Also, I'm in my pajamas and I have like my hair tie on. Don't mind that, but I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was useful and helpful, and that you made a top that you love, and I just know that you look so amazing and you're slaying so hard, and you ate with that, like for real, for real. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I would love to help you, see what I can do. Also, if you like this video, please like, and you know, if you want to see my videos again or me again, then maybe subscribe. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful night, or you know, rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.